And I just began streaming. Let's do this. Yeah, we are.
Are we streaming right now?
What a horrible intro. I should have warned you.
Job. No. This is perfect. This is the way we want to start. We're loosey-goosey. We're warmed up. We had the best warm-up conversation. You have no idea. This is Loser Lee's Wrestling. This is Loser Lee's Wrestling, the woos and whats of AEW Dynamite. We just finished watching AEW Dynamite, and we give you the best and the worst, which we call the woos and the whats. Right? That makes sense, right?
Yeah, woos and whats. Yeah, exactly. You nailed it.
You explained it perfectly.
What else is there to say?
I'm doing fine.
I'm doing fine. Just saw a AEW Dynamite episode, and I'm looking forward to talking about it. And no, I'm not. I didn't really like the episode, to be honest. I'm just trying to be chipper.
It was a weird episode. It was a weird episode. And what the thing is, God. I've been listening to the Cornet podcast, and I'm not trying to plug Cornet, even though we have a lot of new fans coming from Cornet because they saw the Danhausen thing. Thank you so much for all your love and support. But he has this comment about AEW versus WB. WB is just so bland. Like, everything's done well technically, but it's so bland because we keep seeing the same things. And with AEW, it's like they're throwing all the stuff, making all these like very stupid mistakes, very silly, easily fixable mistakes. But because they're young and energetic, it's actually exciting, and you're able to like kind of it keeps you guessing. You don't know what's going to happen, even though some of it's really bad or awkward or stumbly. And I feel like that was this entire episode.
Give me one example of like something that you think is them making a mistake, but they're young and fresh. Like, it sounds like you're making them sound like puppies or something. You know, like, oh, look at them running around.
The tech cues, blocking, slight rehearsing, like just a little bit. Not even a lot. You don't have to go line for line, but some sort of blocking before the show, because people are standing in front of each other. They're turning their back to the camera. They never know their cues. Nobody knows
the Bunny and Ty Conti match. We'll talk about later. But yeah, Matt Hardy in the big moment, he jumped up in the middle of the apron in front of the hard camera, and they fixed it with the side camera, but it was just a little awkward. Like, that, come on, dude, you should know. You're just a little bit to the left or right. Like, it'll be fine, you know. But whatever, it's not a big deal. Yeah.
Literally blocked. But these, we're going to talk about the woos and what's the best and worst of this AEW Dynamite tonight. And we'll start it off hot. Moet, what's your biggest woo of the evening? What do you got?
Best thing I thought. I liked John Moxley in the main event. I liked the ending little visual storytelling thing. Just him. Just what he did. I enjoyed. Yeah. Everything else was filled with weird. It was weird. The Young Bucks and how they reacted to everything. Would you like to explain how, just to set it up before we get into it?
Basically, the main event tonight was John Moxley and the Young Bucks versus the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega, and it was another good match. You know, it was a good match. We don't have to discuss that because I want to talk about it a little bit in my what's. Actually, I'll just talk about it now. And then at the end, Matt Jackson is having trouble finishing it. He's got Kenny Omega in the ring. He's about to kick him, and then he doesn't know if he should. And then Nick gets in his face, and they're all, what should we do? They're trying to do their double team move, and then Matt backs out again, taking forever. Absolutely taking forever with everything. But John Moxley, to his credit the entire time, I believe him. I'm as upset as he is. I want to hit the Bucks. I want to beat the shit out of Kenny Omega so bad because they're just being idiots. Like, so him, like, giving finisher after finisher to Kenny Omega until the Young Bucks kick him in the face. And then it kind of turns on a big beatdown where they all beat up John Moxley. And poor Eddie Kingston hobbles out and then immediately gets hit down and starts screaming, which is very funny. But good work by John Moxley. Sure. He did a good job in that.
I like their visual storytelling. They're very like soap opera-esque, you know, like Matt just standing, you know, very motionless. It felt like an anime the way they pull that stuff off. I guess my issue is I don't know what the Young Bucks are doing ever. I think I don't know, they always try this like gray area storytelling thing. But yeah, like they just got through a whole wrestling match and they just want to watch. I don't know. I don't understand why they're joining. None
of it made sense.
Sure.
Let's talk about this right now. Then it's just inconsistent. The fact that they're like, I get at first I was like, oh, they're like Stone Cold Steve Austin, the mentality of like, oh, they're not necessarily black or white, they're not good or bad, they're somewhere in between. But it's not that they're in between. That's the thing. They're not in between like a Stone Cold or a Rock or NWO. They are just wishy washy. They lack any fundamentals. They have no conscience. They have nothing that tells them what's right and wrong because they just constantly flip back and forth. So they're like sociopaths, and they're not even like scary sociopaths. They're boring sociopaths. They're lame sociopaths that make lame decisions, do lame
Hey, I
things
like
with
that.
their
Come on,
hands.
that's
They're
too
just
sweet. That's classic. That's iconic. What do you do? You don't bring that into
it's
this.
classic for the people doing it that are classic. Like it's classic for Kevin Nash to be doing it. It's classic for Sean Waltman to be doing it. But when the Bucks, they're just doing it all the time, and then the Bucks are doing it, the Good Brothers are doing it, and Kenny's doing it, and and the way they do it, like sometimes they'll do it as a joke, and like it just seems even lamer. The Good Brothers joking around like, why aren't you doing it to us? Why aren't you giving us the too sweet? And like
It's
it's just
true.
annoying. But
Oh, there's yeah.
did
Someone
you
said
like the
it
storytelling?
could work if they had charisma.
It could work if they. Which ones, the Bucks or the Good Brothers? Neither have charisma. And I will say Nick has charisma when wrestling. Nick is a very charismatic wrestler, performer, but they can't talk. Neither team can talk. I don't know
Yeah,
what's going
yeah,
on
I
with the main
agree.
event.
But John Moxley in it was fantastic because yeah, I was worried that they were kind
Yes,
of stuck
John
in this kind
Moxley.
of awkward position where Matt was just like in conflict. But yeah, John just acted
Mhm.
normally like anyone would. It's like, what are you doing? Just get going. And the way he did it, we haven't even talked about
Sure,
that.
and yeah,
Vicious, really vicious. The two paradigm shifts. I think it was two, and then the
I think there were three. No, it was two Bulldog choke, and
yeah,
then
brilliant.
almost a
Yeah,
third. You're right.
yeah, super vicious. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good, and John Moxley did a great job. All my nitpicking is against the Bucks, the Good Brothers, Kenny Omega right now, and Don Callis. But John
Are
Moxley and
you
Eddie
still
Kingston, I think, did a
excited
good
about
job.
where this
A
is
lot of
going, or are you still? I'm curious. I still want to keep watching it because I have a lot of faith in them, all of them as storytellers. But how do you feel?
I don't
Oh,
think I
sure,
was ever excited
fine.
about
I
the
like him a lot
storytelling.
more than you do, I guess. But
I
yeah,
think I like Cam put on good matches. They're in this weird superhero mode now, where the matches that they did on house shows, not house shows, but like indie shows, they're just doing every single week on TV.
hmm
Which is a little annoying, but like I like them as performers. I just don't think I've ever been invested in the storyline. It's never like I'm interested in the Hangman storyline. I'm interested in the what's Dark Order up to. If that's even a storyline anymore. I like Darby Allin and Sting, kinda, but Young Bucks, Kenny Omega did not get me.
I guess it's true. But you didn't. You didn't really pay attention to New Japan during their whole crazy storyline.
Um,
Yeah, I was watching that stuff. And so, but they haven't done. I don't think they've done enough on AEW. But if you know all of their past in New Japan, at least that's how I feel about it. I like them a lot more, and I know how much more dramatic, how much more intense they can make it. So maybe that's it. I don't know,
Well, I'm
but
holding out. I'm
yeah.
holding out. I
Anyways,
still think it's interesting. I think that I'm excited because I like John Moxley, and I'm curious to see what they're going to do. If they're going to, I don't know, give a new school to orphans or something. They're going to go completely back to baby faces, or they're going to jump back and forth and make me. But who knows? Who knows what they're going to do?
yeah,
That wasn't my favorite part of the night, Moet.
sure,
My favorite. That was even on my list. The thing that I put down is Darby Allin versus JD Drake. That
yeah.
was a good match. That was a really good match. I guess Darby Allin has the open challenge out, and JD Drake took the challenge. When I first saw this, I didn't know who JD Drake was. I had
Mhm.
no idea, never seen him before. I saw him last week on Dynamite, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And this time he came out, I'm just like, who the fuck is this guy that's taking up my airtime? And that was a great match. Great, hard hitting match. What do you think, Moet?
I agree too. It was on my list as well. I was really impressed. I thought he did a lot of like impressive like big man type moves. There's one where he like threw Darby in like outside. He threw Darby into the ropes and then like clotheslined him as he got ricocheted back.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. Maybe I have, but it was cool. Yeah.
He reminds me of Fit Finley, honestly.
Hmm.
Like Fit Finley, hard hitting, innovative. The thing is, like, and that's how you put together a match. That's a story that we don't usually see. Every single match is so back and forth. This was him destroying this guy. He was destroying Darby Allin, making Darby Allin dig deep, dig real deep for just a regular match. Like this was well told, and he's a great performer. I was just looking him up, and he's 37,
What?
which is good. Yeah, he looks like he's 40.
I mean, that's still old for wrestling. That's impressive.
Yeah, but
I thought he was a lot younger. I don't know.
You thought he was younger?
Yeah, he's got a. You think he looks 40? I think he looks like.
I think he looks entirely.
I mean, they're calling him the blue collar badass or whatever the hell it is, blue collar something.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. Blue collar, you age faster when you work in a steel mill and stuff. You know, this is me working on a steel mill. I feel like he's like a steel mill 28. You know,
the steel mill. Yeah, I thought he was great. I would love to see more of him, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I'm curious. He got me excited after that. I want to see more now. He won me over for sure.
Yeah, he's like a Kevin Owens' uncle.
Yeah, he had a lot of he had a Kevin Owens vibe with his moves. Yeah. Like he's fast, even though he's kind of like a bigger dude. Yeah.
Yeah, very good. Excellent job. Well, we're moving on. We're spending too much time on nonsense. Mo, what's your next biggest woo of the evening?
This is a quick one. I just want to shout out the bunny. I think I didn't get a chance to talk to you about this last week. I think she's doing great. And this match was really great too against Tay Conti. Tay, I already knew she would be great. I kind of already expected that, but the bunny, it's been so long since we've seen her wrestle like consistently. So yeah, I was really impressed. A lot of great character work in the ring. A lot of great like expressions, a lot of good body language of just kind of.
She knows how to sell. She knows how to sell. Mm-hmm. She's got great facial expressions throughout. Like you feel the pain. Like she took this one, I think it was like a suplex that Tay Conti gave her, and she landed kind of awkwardly on her head, but she sold it. She sold it like she had a concussion. She just like lifted up her head and just had a blank stare. Amazing. That's the Randy Orton concussion stare. Whenever he gets hit on the head, he does this open eye thing. It's great.
Oh yeah, I did notice her do that. Yeah. You like that? I think it's fun. Yeah. It's interesting because she's working so much. She's doing all these like expressions and stuff. So it actually scared me for a second because it's like she just like went blank for like a split second. Like, oh, is it? Oh no, she just played me.
That's perfect. I don't know. Whenever I'm able to lose it for a second, I love it.
Oh, for sure.
I thought she's great. And also Ty did a great job.
Always, yeah. She's getting better every week. And the bunny's getting better every week. I don't know. That's one of the. I mean, it's happening in WWE everywhere, but I guess because there's a lot of newer talent to like a main stage. That's one of the fun things of watching AEW, seeing these people like consistently get better.
Guess what, Mo? That was on my woos too.
Oh, great! That's great.
We're both on the same page. We're doing great. Well, let's just move on because we're very pleased with the women's match tonight. Was there any other women's match, by the way?
No, that was
that was the only one. They crammed all the women.
Any other? They do one a week.
And Hikaru Shida is still the champion, right?
Yeah, I was surprised too.
Why is she wearing? She's not wearing the belt.
No, she wasn't. She's wearing that cool like white suit, which I think is an improvement.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I just wish she wore the belt with it.
I
don't know why. Why would a champion not wear a championship?
It's weird. Yeah, that she's not really defending it, unless she's defending on Dark or Elevation. I just haven't been paying attention. But I don't know. I
honestly did not like. The announce team didn't even say anything about her being ringside until midway through the match. Yeah, that was bad. See, that's the mistakes they're making. These like simple mistakes that they're making where like they don't even mention that she's champion. They don't say, hey, if you're going to the ring, wear the championship belt.
Yeah,
those little things.
She came out with Dark Order though, which I thought was also kind of interesting. Like, I don't know. I wonder, I guess the Dark Order are faces now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it just, I know that they were like in a weird limbo period, but I guess they're now just definitely faces because they're coming
honestly ever since Brody passed,
right,
they've been faces. I feel like ever since Brody's been gone, they've been before they were comedy heels and now they're the good guys,
which I love.
I like.
Yeah,
I'm into it. But excellent. We both had a bunny in our woos. What's your next woo? What you got?
So this one is, I have a feeling you're not going to say this one.
I'm
I
looking
had
at my
I you
right.
know I had fun with Mike Tyson. I had that's a weird way to say that, but I thought I liked yeah, Mike Tyson saving the day, saving Jericho,
Yeah.
getting beat up by all of the Pinnacle, or the Pineapple as he called it in his promo. It was goofy, it was absurd. I shut my brain off because I was like, wait, the last time we saw him, they were about to go, in
Yeah.
fisticuffs against the entire inner circle. That's insane. But I just had to shut my brain off. And I'm like, did I have fun? Was I surprised? Yeah, it was great. It was fun to see him in the ring again. It was fun seeing him ripping his shirt off, having a blast. It seemed like it was good. They hugged each other.
Yeah.
They hugged it out. It was good. It felt good.
It
It
was real
felt good.
positive.
Yeah.
Real positive. Real good moment. Real positive.
Yeah.
And yeah, and one of he gave some good punches. Like I liked his attack when he came into the ring and he started hitting. Was he hitting? Sean Spears. He was punching Sean Spears, double leg takedown him, and then it looked like he was fucking up Sean Spears.
I I was
Those looked like
thinking.
hard hits.
I mean, it looked hard at first. Then he kind of pillow
He
fisted.
softened it
Pillow.
a
Yeah.
little bit. You saw when he softened it up. You saw him be like, "Oh no, I'm giving a 7 right now. I need to be giving a 4."
Yeah. So you're.
That's my Mike
Yeah.
Tyson. That was a pretty good Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
It's
He's
pretty
doing
good.
great. He just had
It's a
a
pretty good
boxing
Mike
match.
Tyson.
I feel like a couple months ago, but the pandemic really crushes all time together. It could have been like a year ago, but he just had a boxing match for the first time in years, and he did
Yeah,
great.
yeah. And what is it called? Legends Only League?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have brought this up because I don't.
I think it
remember.
is. It is Legends Only League. The reason I bring it up because the acronym is LOL.
Okay. That's
I
easy
just
to
thought that was
remember
dumb.
and also
That's-
dumb. Yeah.
It's also, it just does take it seriously. But yeah, I had that there too, Moet. I had Mike Tyson in there. He was in my woos just because of those punches. I
Red
liked him.
Chico-
And I want to see him in a
sorry to
match.
interrupt you. Chico Marks thinks that was a good Tyson impression.
Wasn't that a good
That was-
time? Thank you so much, Christy. Chica Marks, thank you so much, Chica Marks. You're doing great. Thank you so much. It's a pretty good impression. It's right
Yeah,
up there
yeah,
with
just
my
kinda-
Marlon
yeah,
Brando.
yeah, right.
No, thank you. Bless you. Blessings, blessings. Is there a wave feature? Is there like a wave or a poke?
What do you mean a wave?
know,
You mean like a wave?
Like wave that you feature, or what is that thing where you tell people that are watching like?
Do you want me to figure that out right now? Do you want me to see if I can?
No,
figure
let's
out
not figure that out right now.
I think I could figure
We
it
gotta
out.
move on.
Okay.
But while you figure it out, I'm gonna go on to our next big woo. I've got one who surprised me today.
Who's that?
QT Marshall.
You like that promo?
QT Marshall's promo was hard hitting, was mean. He called him a bargain basement sting. He made fun of the fact of like what he did. So QT Marshall, he has this promo in the back where he has his little crew of Nightmare dropouts, Nightmare Factory dropouts, and they're in front of the Nightmare Factory logo, and they're just talking trash about Cody and called Dustin whatever he is. Like he called him a has-been, and he called Cody a guy that left because he couldn't make it, he couldn't take it, and it was a great moment. It was great QT stuff. What are you reading, Mo?
No,
What's going on in there?
Sorry, you caught me with a
You're in
goofy
a
grin.
giggle fest.
I'm really proud of myself because I figured out how to do the wave while also listening to in my left ear. Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah. Well, what did you think about QT's promo?
What did I think about it? I liked it too. I like where it's going. I have issues with how he introduced everybody in the very end.
Yeah.
I think he put down every single person. Which was really embarrassing. I think like Aaron Solo. I don't remember the other two, but off the top, that one. I don't like. He should be so far away from being reminded that he used to be Bailey's boyfriend. Yeah. Like
that was stupid.
Yeah.
I
just felt bad
stupid.
for him. Yeah, but
I just don't know. I just don't know what levels they do to communicate with people before these promos. Like, does he go up to Dustin and be like, hey, like QT Marshall, does he go up to Dustin and be like, hey, I'm going to call you a has-been or whatever? Like, I'm going to make fun of that. Or does he go up to Aaron Solo and be like, hey, I'm going to call attention to Bailey? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I wonder because I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's a bad idea. Because we shouldn't be reminded of that. We shouldn't be reminded of someone, which isn't even that popular news. It's not even that big of a news, but now people are going to be like, Aaron Solo boyfriend, what is that all about? And they're going to Google it now.
Yeah, that one was a bad one, but this might be a good transition into the Inner Circle promo, the Jericho's promo earlier tonight.
Is that a woo for you?
I don't know. I kind of want to say no. I don't know. I didn't rank it.
Well,
Yeah.
let's get into our whats. Do you have any more
No,
woos?
that's it. I like Tankman versus
Okay, well,
Max Caster. That was awesome. I'm a fan of Max Caster's, so and I like the Acclaimed. I like how he raps. I'm a sucker for it. It's great. Uh,
I like they claimed I was neither here nor there about the match, unfortunately, but I enjoyed the ending where he's drinking beer. He's drinking a Page
a
Weiser.
Page You like the
Uh,
Page Weiser?
I
Is a
like that.
reference to
That makes
Steve
me
Weiser's back in the day. Yeah,
yeah, it's
it's good.
cute
Yeah, I don't. Why did they call him Steve Weiser's? Why did they call? Was it copyright
because
issues?
they can't say
Was it that
Budweiser.
it?
You can't say
Okay,
Budweiser unless they're
that's what I
responsible.
assumed, but
You
I
know,
just realized I
yeah,
never looked into it or thought about it until he mentioned Page Weiser. So
it's
yeah.
cute. I think it's fun. I always like that. And just real quick, Britt Baker did a
Oh,
great
that too.
promo.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah,
Britt Baker did a great
she gained so
promo.
much confidence since the Lights Out match. Like the she did a great one on Elevation on Monday,
Yeah,
incredible, and this one's incredible. I just feel like something just she just went up
she's
a
a killer.
rank. Yeah.
She's a killer. And make sure to check out our video, Loser Leagues Wrestling's video on Britt Baker, Superstar Spotlight, Wrestler Spotlight. But moving on, we're going to get into the what's. We're going to get into the real shitty stuff today. And there's a lot of it, Moet. There's a lot of it. Actually, it's not too much, honestly. It's enough where it's throughout the night stuff for me. What's your biggest what?
Yeah,
Of
I
the
sort of
evening?
feel like neither of us are enjoying this storyline for the next couple weeks, I guess, until the next pay-per-view. So I don't know. Like it's sort of like I don't hate anything. It's just not like connecting with me. So it might just feel more negative than it actually is. Anyways, yeah. So I don't know. I don't have anything ranked other than like Sting and Lance Archer. I think that was awkward. I don't know what the point of it was. It just felt weird that Sting like berated Lance Archer to be better. You kind of turn the tables on him in a strange way. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have any? What are your thoughts?
It just that all felt out of character. Everyone felt out of character. Jake making fun of Darby, calling him a gerbil twice. I think it's funny that he called him a gerbil. Like I thought it was Jake needs to be focused, or he shouldn't be there at
Mm-hmm.
all. You know,
I think they're
because honestly he's annoying. He's annoying and disruptive. Like not good disruptive. Like when he's not
yeah.
on.
My gut feeling is that they're trying to transition Lance Archer to like talk on his own and be on his own. I feel like maybe that was a backstage thing between the two of them because all of a sudden it went from Jake being the mouthpiece to kind of pushing more onto Lance. So that's why.
Yeah, and I think he's doing it. He's doing a good job.
Yeah. Oh no, Lance Archer's doing great. I think for what he's doing, he's figuring it out. Yeah.
I think he's doing a good job.
I don't understand. What was Sting even there to talk about? Like in kayfabe and storyline, every week he comes out for an interview and he never gets to do the interview. He always gets interrupted, and then he just walked away. He didn't even get a chance to talk. And then when Lance had a moment to speak, he also ran just walked away. What was the point of?
I just hate. I hate that they're just nuking these. Like I feel like when they're on tour and they're going someplace new and having Sting come out to greet the audience in Greensboro or greet the audience in Las Vegas or something, then that's fine. But like if you're at the same place, these are the same fans that are coming every week. So he's just coming out and doing the same shtick every time. I'm getting, I like, it's frustrating as a viewer, but I would be upset to go to a show if I like week after week and see the same
That's
things.
a good point. I bet it. Yeah, if I was there live, like if they showed up to my town, I would be fine with
You'd
seeing
love it.
Sting, even just
You'd
for like a
lose
few
your
minutes.
shit.
Like, oh, great, we got to see.
Just to say hi to
Yeah.
Tony. Just to say hi to Tony.
You mean from the
but,
stands?
you know,
or
without
like, hello,
that,
Tony. Hello.
hey
Hello. Do
Tony,
you do
hey,
that?
it's me,
I
Sting.
should do that.
It's me, Sting. It's showtime.
They can hear you.
It's
They're
me.
right there, 80 feet away.
They could. Yeah, I don't know. He has nothing to talk about. Sting has nothing to talk about ever. Let me give you my biggest what of the evening. My biggest what is a big overarching one, and it has to do with Mike Tyson, has to do with Sting, has to do with Shaq. It's whenever Tony Khan gets a new toy, he can't help but play with it immediately and forget about his old toys. Until he finds a new toy again, and then he'll forget about those toys. He keeps dropping things in favor of the next thing he has, and then it's very frustrating because some of the things he finds are really cool, really interesting. You know, he finds Taz choking out Cody in November, and like, which is a cool moment. First time Taz has touched anyone in years. He hasn't wrestled. He's not a wrestler. For him to do that, and then for them to drop it completely because they got Sting. They got Sting. We have to drop this. We have to put Sting with Cody. Yeah. So what was Cody doing before? We can't even remember. He was with Taz. We'll have Taz feud with Sting instead of Cody. Like they just drop and shift, and they don't give us any conclusions. Nothing satisfying.
Did they start with Sting and Cody? Was that how they started in December
Yeah.
or whatever it was?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Everything happened so fast. That's crazy.
Started out with Sting coming out to help Cody with FTW.
I will say I agree with you for this, but I will say maybe tonight they so NXT is doing a takeover tonight and tomorrow. So pay-per-view quality show on TV. So I feel like the sudden announcement of Mike Tyson was trying to kind of balance it out a bit, or give some reason to watch Dynamite tonight instead. So that's why I'm like okay with the weird Mike Tyson appearance, but that is an issue in general. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, like he punches. He wants to punch Jericho one day. He's friends with Jericho next. I just want some consistency.
Sure.
Some consistency. I don't care. Like if you want to be, everyone's a tweener. Just have consistent actions. Let like if a person does something, it doesn't make sense. I don't know. I'm talking in circles, Moe. What's your next big what of the evening? You got another big what? You got another what?
I didn't like that Jericho made fun of Peter Avalon and Michael Nakazawa. That hurt me. I didn't like it. It made me mad.
That was me.
I'm supposed to cheer him, and he hurt my favorite guys. It's not necessary, Jericho.
Did you like that promo at all?
No, I didn't, but I thought it was, I mean, he had a lot, I don't know, I need to like rewatch it, I think, because it was like, I didn't like it at first, but at the end, I was like, well, he did have a lot to say, and he got through a whole lot, and he was like really aggressive, and oh yeah, the Blood and Guts match announcement, that's exciting. So like, it was a lot for me to take in, where I think I started off being like, no, I don't like this. So yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of on the fence about it. How'd you feel?
I didn't like it. I didn't like it because I don't like promos that negates everything we just saw and witnessed. He treated it like this is this long plan to do. Like he said that, when we invited MJF in, we all knew what this was, and we all were going to suck the energy out from him, and he sucked, and we knew he sucked, but we wanted to get everything out, and then he outsmarted us at the end. No, like why can't you just accept? Like why can't they stick with the storyline they had? Jericho was the only person that liked him. The rest of the crew did not want him there. Then they slowly liked him or whatever. Like they're trying to rewrite the history that we just watched. Mm-hmm. It's not like it's even a year ago. This is the same storyline. Why are you trying to change it on it? I hate that. I
do too, but I think that's what happened with me with the Mike Tyson thing later in the night, where I'm realizing I just have to turn my brain off at times. Where like we
can't do that all the time, Mo. We need it for other things. Wrestling is killing us. It's destroying the brain. AEW wrestling, it's very wishy-washy.
But I think just wrestling is wishy-washy. It's not just AEW. They like Jericho retconned it because they just have to move to the next feud. I don't think it wasn't a great, like I think it's weird that we're all having to that they're faces now. The Inner Circle, we're cheering them on now after they terrorized AEW for an entire year. And now just a month in, we're like cheering them and supposed to be happy for them and stuff. So, but that's just the retconning of wrestling. You just have to kind of be like, accept it and be like, yeah, this is it.
There's things that are justified, and there's things that are acceptable, and there's things that need to change just because they've been happening for so long. WWE, what I've noticed, there has to be a middle ground. WWE storytelling is slow as molasses. Where you're like waiting. It's like waiting for the next. We're seeing the same match every single week for the story to progress. AEW, they just give up, and I feel like there has to be a middle.
Yeah,
ground.
Well, because
the middle ground has to be there, and nobody in wrestling has it. And hopefully MLW will, which I like.
The day. Yeah.
Which one was it? Was it or NWA? Which one had the power?
Power's NWA.
NWA Power. Yeah. Oh, so maybe NWA will do it because I like Power.
Okay, yeah, I think it's because AEW, they do so much, like you said earlier, they do so much every week. It feels like even the main event tonight could have been a pay-per-view match if they really wanted to, and that's like what's charming about AEW and an issue is that they give us so much all the time, and it kind of like messes things up with long-term storytelling. So, but I don't know.
And also with our expectations. It makes everything like anything that's less than. I don't know. Do you have any other what's? I actually have several. I
Yeah,
just realized I have
fire
several.
some off. Let's talk about yours. Yeah.
Oh, Orange Cassidy talking, that promo parade that happened earlier with Death Triangle in the ring, and then best friends come out and they all talk, and none of them can talk. Not a single one of them can talk. And they completely forgot about Chris Statlander until the end when they're like, oh, we got an alien too. I feel like it was a bad segment. It was an overall bad segment. The only person that came off slightly confident or competent was
Oh, but
Pat.
now that you mention it, that is one thing I really actually liked about that segment was that the video they showed beforehand, or not before, sorry, when Orange Cassidy came out. Because at first I was like, why is he interrupting them? So it was nice to have them hold my hand and be like, oh no, they did
Yeah,
this in January, they did this in June or whatever. Like, there's a history between them, and now they're all together in the same ring. They were probably waiting on Trent to heal up so they could do something. So those are moments where I actually appreciate that and liked that potential feud now. So and death, yeah, I don't know,
I just feel like there's a better way of doing this. Like instead of having it be Death Triangle is going to come out to talk for no reason, and then they get interrupted by the best friends in Orange Cassidy. Why not have in the back like Orange Cassidy, like someone going up, a reporter that they have back, Alex Marvez, whatever, goes up and just like, Orange Cassidy, what are you doing walking to the ring? He's just like, I got something to say, and then he just walks. He walks into the ring,
yeah.
and then he plays that. He plays that, and he's just like, and not a lot. Don't say a lot. Just be like, like I have a bone to pick, and then drops the mic and just waits, plays that video or something, and then best friends come.
That's
I don't know,
good.
but there's better ways to do it. I think there are simple ways to do the same segment without doing the same segment. I'm tired of seeing AEW bring someone out for an interview and then immediately, before they even say anything, have it interrupted. That happens so often.
That's legit criticism, Red. I think that's really good. I think they need to all sit down, take a break, and watch, like, I don't know, an entire season of The Muppet Show and kind of figure out how are we getting from Kermit to Fozzie to, Miss Piggy. How are they doing it? And then just emulate that. Just steal it completely. Have, you know.
God, in all honesty, Tony, we know you're listening to this. Book us, but put us in, coach. Let us try. Let us try and help. Let us try and help. We'll be the bad guys. We'll tell the wrestlers what's what. Right?
Sure.
Noah?
Yeah. What do I got to lose? Yeah.
Yeah. Tony, thank you so much for supporting the podcast, even though you never reach back out, but it's okay. Moving on. I have another thing that bothers me. It was just the usual for me. The Kong versus Godzilla match, Jurassic Express versus Bear Country, and it was sloppy. It was sloppy, and I've noticed this, and I've talked about this with a lot of Luchasaurus matches, but there's just too many planned spots, too many very intricate planned sequences that, in all honesty, Luchasaurus sometimes jumbles up. He jumbles them up a lot, and Bear Country are not those. It's not their style of wrestling. It's not their style of wrestling to do specific sequence moves that are very detail oriented. They seem pretty new. And so I feel like there was a lot of botches in this, a lot of awkwardness when it could have been a cool, just brawl.
Interesting.
Which I would have enjoyed.
Because I interpreted it completely differently. I thought it was Bear Country's fault. Which.
Yeah, well, it's definitely part of it. Like Bear Country definitely weren't prepared. There's something that they confused or they looked a little sluggish or late to. But also Luchasaurus, just if if he's going for a sequence, he'll literally wait until they're in the spot. He'll literally stall and just wait. Like he'll do nothing at times, not move, not blink, waiting for someone to get in their spot. And I'm just like, it feels awkward. Like we can't constantly be waiting for the other person to respond. The idea is like an improv, like a little bit. It doesn't have to be all improv, but like if they're not there yet, bring them there. If they're there has to be that action. Otherwise, it feels planned. It feels like you're waiting for your next plan,
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I haven't really paid it. I was paying attention to Bear Country, so this is actually kind of new to me because I was just like, oh, it's that guy's fault. So I didn't even, because thinking of, there was a spot where I don't know either of their names yet, but one of them was.
Boulder's the big guy.
They're both big guys. Which one's?
The bigger
They're both
guy.
round bear looking dudes. What?
Well, one guy's like a short round, and one's like a tall round.
Huh. All right. Well, Boulder, I guess, was holding
Yeah, the big guy that was holding
was holding Jungle Boy. Yeah,
Jungle Boy.
and then Luchasaurus was off the top. He jumped off the top rope, and he was supposed to grab him. I think I'm pretty sure, because I've seen him do
Yeah,
that
that's exactly.
thing in a different different matches. It's Boulder, right? That guy, that dude's
Yeah,
Boulder. Okay,
yeah,
the big one. Of
big.
course, he's the bigger one. Thank you, Red. Yeah, and so I assumed it was just they had planned that spot out, and the Boulder assumed he could do it, but Luchasaurus is just too big. I didn't place the blame on Luchasaurus. Did you?
No, I don't think in that moment it was
Okay,
Luchasaurus.
okay.
I just feel that like overall with Luchasaurus matches, he has these very specific sequence of moves that he does where they're supposed to duck a kick so he could do a roundhouse kick to someone else, and he does his kip up, and a lot of wrestlers have this, but when they're not in the spot, he waits for them to get there. It's just like he's waiting for his cue to do his next part, and that's wrestling has to be fluid. They're not always going to be in the spot you need them to be. You have to help guide them. And even though the best wrestlers are in the right spot at the right time, not everyone in AEW is the best wrestler.
Right. And that's a tag team thing that they're like AEW is creating, not just AEW, just that they're consistently doing tag team matches, but like the tag team matches are evolving. Like the psychology is getting faster and more complicated. So I think there's going to be a limit to it at some point where people just the performers just can't keep up, which maybe is what's happening, because Bear Country, to put on my side, I like what they're doing, but several times when they tried these like pretty cool double team moves, it just seemed to stumble in one way or another. It just felt riskier than necessary, but I still want them to keep doing it until they hurt somebody, I guess, because I think it's cool.
Do you remember when the Bear Country were on each other's shoulders, right? And he was gonna splash on Luchasaurus, right?
Yeah.
That was the point. And then Luchasaurus sits up, and then he stands up, and then he waits there because he's waiting for Jungle Boy to come in, and they're looking like idiots right now, standing there and just being like, "Oh, what are you gonna do?"
Well, but whose fault? That's not their fault. I mean, like, I wonder if they
faster. If someone's,
I wonder if they started moving first, or maybe Jungle Boy wasn't there. I just like, what is Luchasaurus supposed to do? He either gets the splash and makes them look stupid, or
you don't have to act like that's a part of wrestling. Like you point, you're like, like just show that like you see them doing it. You're about to do something, but he just stood there. He just stood there and waited rather than do something to show that like you're in for trouble now. And then his buddy's in there, and then they do their whatever
now
sequence.
I understand.
But like,
yeah, you're saying he just needed to do some sort of movement, some sort of like something to get the tension off of the awkwardness in the moment. That just
you'll never see FTR just stand. Yeah. You'll never see FTR just stand there. They're always moving. They're always, and that's why everyone loves the people that love the Good Brothers are because of that. They never have those moments.
That's great. Yeah, I'm glad we walked through that. I'm glad you're patient with me until we figured that out.
I will lose my voice, but that's all the what's I have.
That's it for me too. Yeah. What'd you think of it?
What was your feelings overall?
Just kind of, I'm ready to watch NXT take over. I'm excited to see what happened there. That's my feeling of this. I think.
Want to know what I'm excited about next week though? Matt Hardy versus Darby Allin.
Really? What are you excited about?
I'm excited about it because Matt Hardy is a good wrestler with someone that could work around his faults, or he's a little slower. He's going to be the bruiser in this match. He's going to be the dominant one versus Darby Allin. Darby Allin's going to dance around him because he's really good. But Matt Hardy's smart, and Matt Hardy's he puts an exciting match on when he's got a good wrestler.
I think so. Yeah, I always like Darby Allin's wrestling. I think his character work is a little awkward, but his wrestling is always incredible. Yeah.
We love Darby Allin. God bless you. God bless everyone. And God bless all the listeners here at Loser Leaves Wrestling. Thank you all so much for your support. Check out the Britt Baker video if you haven't already. But also check out our podcast. If you missed this episode or you missed other episodes, we got them on our podcast. It's Loser Leaves Wrestling on all the podcast devices and such. But please also follow us on Instagram and all the other things. And send us emails to loserleavespod so we could talk about your questions with Moa in the mailbag. But that's all we got for Loser Leaves Wrestling. My name is Red Jefferson. I'm here with
Jaswal.
Moa Jaswal, if you were an article of winter clothing, what would you
Oh,
be?
just like a nice, comfortable like sweater that my mother knit for me. That's
Mother's knit
yeah.
sweater.